Anne is asking, and then after that is Dee's question on Patreon. I already asked Susanna about this, though. Is it possible to one day look into the claim that the Bible isn't homophobic and that is just a mistranslation from bigots who want to conflate? Oh, I'm not gonna. Oh, it's good that it's in two pieces because I'm not gonna highlight the second part because we could get in trouble. It's predator people. Like it means is she's saying that maybe it's about some other bad behavior, when it comes to people who are not adults. Maybe it's about that. That's nonsense. I mean, the only people who are saying that are people who are trying to act like the Bible is not homophobic. There are so many verses in the Bible that is clearly about, condemning men being with other men. It's pretty much not me, YouTube, the Bible. Don't come at me. Go on.
Well, she was when she asked me about this, she was asking us to do like a full episode unpacking is or is not the Bible homophobic, or these verses legitimate evidence for homophobia.
We got in strikes for reporting on other people's homophobia and YouTube thinking it was us who were being homophobic, right? So I don't know if YouTube is going to let us do this. Like, and we appealed these things, and YouTube is like, nope, it's, like, it wasn't us. We were just telling you what other people were saying. We were against that. They're like, nope, you're being hateful. Here's a strike. Congratulations, bye. I'm like, okay, we're not going to talk about this anymore. Thank you, YouTube. YouTube sucks. But I mean, this has been like, look at the people who are making those claims. They're not biblical scholars, right? They're not people. They are people with agendas. Oh, well, apparently not. Go on.
So, because you asked me, hey, can you pull up those verses? So I just Googled like Bible verses used to condemn homosexuality. And I found this article published in an academic journal called 7 Gay Texts. And it's published in Biblical Theology Bulletin, Journal of Bible and Culture. 7 Gay Texts, Biblical Passages Used to Condemn Homosexuality by Robert K. Gunuse. There are 7 texts often cited by Christians to condemn homosexuality: Noah and Ham, which is Genesis 9:20 through 27, Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not going to go through all the verses because, basically here's the argument. The author believes that these do not refer to homosexual relationships between two free, adult, loving individuals. They describe R, meaning a very bad thing where you force someone to do something, or attempted R. Cultic
non-consensual relationship.
Yes. Cultic prostitution, male prostitution, and pederasty. And
trouble.
Or the ISIS cult in Rome, meaning about the goddess, not the radical group. But I can't even say that because of YouTube. So if the biblical authors did assume homosexuality was evil, we do not theologize off of their cultural assumptions. We theologize off of the texts we have in the canon. The author attempts to introduce new arguments into this long-standing and passionate debate. So here's an example of someone, I'm not sure if this person himself is a theologian, but he's publishing in biblical theological journals, who argues that it is not accurately condemning homosexuality.
Well, so what about the verses that says, condemning specifically a man lying with another man? It doesn't say anything about. First of all, this is nonsense. Okay, I'm gonna change the standards now. It seems like I'm being a hypocrite, but I'm gonna do it anyways. You could find one odd, person with a paper publishing it somewhere, but that is just disagrees with the mainstream idea of what these translations are, right? But I find it hard to believe that the Bible was talking about non-consensual relationship when the issue of consent is not even a concept in the entire goddamn Bible, right?
At least for
like
women, it isn't.
Yeah, well, nowhere there's like this is not like a way that the Bible categorizes different sexual relationship. Like consent is not a concept that is even introduced. So the idea that these were specifically about non-consensual relationships that is being condemned is laughable. Like that's it's ridiculous. It's a desperate attempt to whitewash the Bible. It's so obviously so. I don't even know how could it like it's condemning men being with other men, and people are like, oh, it's about non-consensual relationship. It doesn't say so. It doesn't say so. It doesn't say so anywhere in the Bible. Go on.
So you were talking about Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, which is from the King James edition. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind, it is an abomination. Or you should not sleep with a man as with a woman, it is detestable, that kind of thing. But this author is arguing that specific verse does not refer to a free, loving, what did he say? A free, loving, same-sex relationship. But he says this specific verse refers to cultic prostitution.
So that is actually the perfect Bible verse to show how ridiculous this author is saying. By the way, we're finding like one, remember, when you're trying to figure out what's true or not, don't go like finding one person that published something is not a very good way of measuring things, because you will always find people supporting your argument if you look hard enough, right? By the way, that specific Bible verse is saying one should not lay with a man as one would lay with a woman. So if somebody is saying this is about non-consensual predatory relationship, so that is hold on, let me finish this and you could say what he's actually saying. Because I heard some people suggesting that therefore this would mean that one could do that with a woman. You know what I mean? Like if you're thinking that the Bible is only condemning predatory non-consensual relationship, well, this Bible verse is saying don't do that with a man as you would do it with a woman. So is the Bible now endorsing predatory non-consensual relationship with women? Do you know what I mean? Like the only difference, the thing that is being condemned here is with the man part compared to the only factor that is changing between these two scenarios that makes them one of them okay and the other one not okay in the eyes of the Bible is that one is man with woman and the other one is man with man. But go on.
So his claim is not that verse is in regard to non-consensual sexual relationships, not that verse. That verse he's saying has to do with cultic prostitution. Okay,
again, whatever you want to say about that, then is cultic prostitution okay with women and not with men? Like, look at the verse. The verse is you could come up with whatever you want. The verse in the Bible is saying whatever is okay with women, that behavior is not okay with men. You could be like, okay, well, this is about this specific sexual relationship. Well, whatever that is, the Bible is saying it's okay with women, not okay. The thing that is changing is the gender of the person you're doing it with. Nothing else seems to be changing. If you think there are other things that are changing, well, the Bible is not saying it. That's your imagination, right? Mm-hmm. It's so easy. Anyways.
Well, I just did a Google on this professor. I am not sure about his. He's a distinguished professor in the chair of the Department of Religious Studies at Loyola University in New Orleans, which is a Catholic university. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's Catholic, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He is an idiot no matter what. Whether he's a Catholic or an atheist, I don't care. He's dumb.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of Blasphemy and Sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our Blasphemous Art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe. Link in the description below.